Okay, hello there. We're gonna make sure everything's muted. Right. Take a look at this. Yeah. So this is another femme fatale character, Becca. This is the drawing that I did. This was the first drawing, actually, the first one that I did. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because Julie Kitsuli did this. This was a bring it up, please. Yep. This was a commission that I made. I wanted to see her version of Becca, and I love this. I especially love that she's holding this carrot cake and that little speech bubble. I think that's really cute because I all I said was, I'd like a picture of Becca. I didn't make any specific requests, didn't have any little ideas or anything in mind. So yeah, I think that's wonderful. I think that's really cute. So yeah, that's the news that of drawings. That here's the thing, because I'm thinking of, like, at the end of each month, I think I'm going to start doing like an art dump on my YouTube channel, where I go through all the stuff that I've worked on throughout the month, and so I'm probably going to do that as a separate video, as I say, at the end of every month. Which means I might not be showing, like, I'm probably going to be going through older stuff in my little intros, and maybe any commissions that I've made. Anyway, today I'm going to be drawing another femme fatale character, and it's this one here. This is Lena, and Lena's quite an iconic character to me and Julie because, Julie came up with Lena a while back, and I just sort of had a go at drawing her myself one day, and I showed Julie, and then that's sort of how our friendship formed, is just from that picture. So this character did kind of bring us together, so that's quite nice. And yeah, I thought it'd be a good idea to draw, and I'm going to do a high res digital version of this sketch. And yeah, because I'm going to sort of add this to the ones that I've worked on previously. And yeah, what I was thinking is, because this is slightly different to how Lena's supposed to look. It's really just a rough sketch. This is one of Julie's drawings. So that's the kind of design that I'm going for. So like the hair's got to change, I reckon, and because the fact is, I drew this one from memory. It was over Christmas when I was spending time with my parents. I did a bunch of sketches, and I had access to the internet, but I wasn't looking at all the social media stuff so much. So yeah, I didn't follow all of the rules, but as I say, I'm going to kind of try and morph it into a more accurate version. Let's just check on that. Yeah, because I was drawing those really tiny, so I think, I mean, that's probably about the right size, the way I've done it there. Because I was going to go for something a lot smaller than. So yeah, we've been having a lot of fun coming up with ideas for these characters, and it's I think it's great that we haven't grown tired of these characters yet. We haven't, because it does happen when you come up with original characters. I suppose I found when I'm just doing it on my own, it's a bit harder to stay interested in my own ideas, because it's hard. It gets to a point where because I get so many other ideas, and but I think because we've done this together, made something that seems really worthwhile, and there's a lot of potential. We come up with ideas for stories and things, and yeah, it's can actually be a thing. And what I'm hoping to do, I've actually, I'll show these when I make that video about all the stuff I've done this month. The drawings I've done in a lot of these live streams, I thought would be, they'll make good sort of cover art, because I thought it'd be nice to do some like album covers and things, because I was wondering what their first album would look like, and I was thinking if I have pictures of these characters and kind of crop them in such a way, because the first idea I had is like do it like an audio visualizer, and just find a way of fitting the images of each of the characters within the pattern that you get with the audio visualizer. If I do work out a way of doing that, then I'll be able to show you. What I'm talking about. And let's just remove that a second. It's quite a cute face. See if I can. Right. So yeah, Lena is the tallest of the femme fatale characters. I suppose that kind of makes sense because all the animals, because she's a lemur, so yeah, lemurs can be quite lanky, I suppose. Like compared to other, like because we've got a cat, a rabbit, a dog, which aren't necessarily like in reality not huge creatures. So hello to anyone who's just joined. It's great to have you here. Yeah, so I still think it's a great idea. I've said this already, but if you want to come up with the original characters, put them in a band. Like even if it may not be your the thing you're kind of going for, but I found what it does, it really makes it easier to think about their identities, their sort of interests, what the family life is like, what their love life is like. Somehow, so now I've just got to see. I quite like doing it. I do draw her hair very differently. This is what I'm finding. I think what I'm just going to try and do is make it so that it's the right kind of length based on that colour image. I'm going to do more of a more draped down over her shoulders. Yeah, because I've done several cartoon bands. When I was doing Beluga Weekly, I came up with these characters who were like insects. It was Hank D and the Parasites, and actually that's an idea that I kept going for quite a while. So Hank D was like this. He was a cockroach, and he was in a band with a mosquito, a flea, and a tick, and that just seemed really funny because they're trying to be like a legit rock band. These tiny little creatures, and I think because I felt like it had potential, but I didn't do an awful lot because they would show up randomly in Beluga Weekly, and yeah, they didn't have a lot to do. eventually, because I had this character like who was like a big fan of theirs, and her name was Paula, and she was like this little firefly character, and I really liked her, and it got to the point where I thought I think I'm just going to put her in the band, and not only did I do that, I sort of wrote Hank out of it. I just thought that Paula would make a better. Like, I thought Paula and the Parasites sounded like a way better band name. So for that reason, he was out and Paula was in. So there's a little bit of history there from that fictional band that nobody knows about. But from then on, I kept having ideas for cartoon rock bands. Let's see. Because the next one I remember doing was Party Animals. The Party Animals were a 4-piece again. I think for a while I just thought, most bands have 4 members, so yeah, I'll just do that. And yeah, so the Party Animals were like, one of them was a Dalmatian. Her name was Vicky. She was like, I didn't really settle on which one was going to be the lead singer, because I like the idea of them all singing and like having their own songs. So, but yeah, she played the keyboard. Then there was a crocodile on bass. His name was Mel. So yeah, Brenda the beaver was on lead guitar, and there was a pig on the drums. Their name was Wanda. And this is, I think, because I really felt that time that I was really onto something, and maybe I still am. I'm not giving up entirely. So it's probably going to go behind her shoulder, I think. And yeah, I still like drawing them. I have found that one of the hard things, surprisingly, with creating OCs is it's sometimes hard to remember how I'm supposed to. I don't know if it's just me. I find this. I forget how I'm supposed to draw them. Basically, like I said, I didn't do the most accurate job drawing Lena in this sketch, but I think because I just went with what felt right to me. So it's odd how, and as usual, I can't spend an awful lot of time on the line work. I've got to try and get that done as quickly as possible. I mean, I'm not really in a rush tonight, but I don't want to keep everyone waiting. There was another, because another band I came up with, cartoon band, Dirtface. The idea of Dirtface is they were sort of a support group for they supported the Party Animals. And in that one there was a dog called Charlotte. She was the lead singer, and the bass player was a rat called Bernadette. They had a frog on the drums. Her name was Joss. I'm pretty sure that's the name I settled on. I went through so many names with that character. And Eleanor, she was a cat, and she played the guitar. And so really, at this point, I'm just sort of going through different variations of the same idea. But the cool thing is, like with Femme Fatale, there's so much more of an identity, and I think I couldn't really come up with any kind of humorous ideas for the bands I was coming up with, those characters. As I say, it was interesting sort of working out their identities and personalities and all of that. But yeah, there wasn't an awful lot there, because again, I was just working on these things just on my own. They were just sort of things that I was interested in doing this, but I didn't really have anyone helping me out. So I'm finding that it makes a big difference when you're doing it with someone else who's about as interested as I am. So yeah, it makes a difference. So a lot of the members of Femme Fatale have crazy hair. Like, because the first character that I came up with was Rita, and I'm probably going to be drawing her in these streams at some point, because I haven't done her in a live stream, have I? Yeah, some of you may know the character I'm talking about. She's a dog, and I don't know, because I just I like the idea of a shaggy dog that was in like a hair metal band. I think, yeah, because I think I talked about this on my other live stream, the origins of Rita. So I think that became a kind of running theme. They'll have these very kind of 80s hairdos. So yeah, it's a fun thing to design. Yeah, I think that's closer to the sort of look that I need to go for. Right, I'm just going to take a sip of coffee. So how is everyone? You all been having a good day? See, it's 4:15 over here. So I've had most of my Sundays is been and gone. I think this is a pretty good time for a live stream. I'm gonna bring the because I've given it really tall eyelids there, because I really want to try and nail that the pattern, the purple bit, because it really it only works if you sort of paint it over afterward. If I do it now, it'll save me a bit of work. By the way, I'm a big fan of just not bothering to draw the lower part of the body, because I really struggle. I really struggled like drawing legs and things for some reason. Yeah, that's lovely. It's sort of like a purple flame. I do like this look. And the same over here. Yeah, so just I'll make sure I can get it right. Yeah, okay. Hello. Good morning, good morning. We talk the whole way through the morning. And I must remember when I upload this to give Julie credit. It's the thing that I have to always keep in mind, because I came up with Becca, Rita and Peggy. So we sort of shared the workload. Yeah, so Julie came up with Lena, the one I'm drawing right now, and Claire. And I think she sort of came up with Kimmy, like the version of Kimmy that we now have. Because I mean there was another artist who I believe did the original drawing that sort of inspired, because there is a there's a bit of an interesting story about it. Wow, I'm quite pleased with that. So I'll try and press on, because I don't have a lot of time. I said it again, I've got plenty of time when we're talking about. You're also going to get to see the size chart that I came up with, because I thought we're going to have to be able to keep track of how they compare in terms of height. Because you know that Lena's really tall. And yeah, so there was another thing that I sort of scribbled down when I was back in Hertfordshire. I did a rough version of the size chart, because I wanted to think about just kind of, you know, what system is going to be, what, like, as I say, like comparison of each character's height, and so from there it more recently I did a digital version that's all nice and tidy. Like it's not the best drawing of these characters, but it does make it sort of, it establishes what they should sort of look like. Okay, let's draw the tattoo. Sort of squiggles about, isn't it? Yeah. Because that's something that I tend to just do as a very basic squiggly line. I know that's not right, but it just helps when I'm drawing it, because it makes things a little bit easy. But I'm just very lazy, because I one of the reasons that I did the purple bit just then is I thought otherwise I'm going to forget. I keep forgetting to put their makeup on and all of those details. Like I think it is just me. I'm that kind of artist. I just forget everything. Skin, gotta stop. Guess you got everything now. Not much time, so I'm just gonna cheat. I mean, there is time. I'm just getting impatient. So yeah, that's good. Okay. Welcome. One dream, one song, one prize, one goal, one golden glance at what could be. One shaft of light that shows the way. No mortal man can win this day. Oh yeah. A thousand years with somebody on. How you doing? Cool. Oh. Whoopsie. Let's try that again. This rage that lasts 1,000 years will soon be done. It's gonna have to do. Now the bracelet things, I tend to draw them a slightly different shape. If you look at how they look on the original, because I tend to make the wrist quite narrow, well, very narrow as a matter of fact. Look at that. So again, that's just my style. I'm not necessarily going to do it right. Though the day is long, twilight sings a song of the happiness that used to be. Soon my eyes will close, soon I'll find repose, and in dreams you're always near to me. I'll see you in my dreams. So yeah, we're almost at the end of the month. It's crazy. But yeah, so I do want to draw. I want to do a lot more femme fatale art, but I mean, I've also been thinking a lot about Ema, because that I have this character called Ema, and I have a lot of ideas for what I could do with her, like maybe some comics and something. So I might have a go at some of that. Because this time next week, as I say, it'll be February. So yeah, I'm thinking of that. I'm thinking for the next live stream, I might do some Ema art. So if you aren't familiar with that character, then tune into the live stream, and you'll be able to see what she looks like. Because I think that would, again, it's something that has potential, something that I could do something with, maybe. Excuse me, I'm just a few more bits to do, and then we're ready to colour. guess that's just the way the story goes. But in your eyes your sorrow shows. Yes, it shows. I get away with that. So yeah, hope you're all doing alright. I'm going to be here every week at the same time. Yeah, that's going to have to do. Right, just the tail now. Okay. I don't know. But we can find out quite soon. It looks okay. So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to trade your heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change? Did you exchange a walking about in a wall for a lead role in a cage? It's the comfort for the storm, false sense of security, sure to be a forgery. It's the comfort for the storm. Funny face, I want a funny face. Funny face, want a funny face. Billions of dollars spent on her face, covering, smoothing, changing the shape. Everyone wanted a face just like mine. Nobody wanted me, only to look like me. Funny face, funny face. Okay, that's fine. Nearly there. Hello to anyone who's just started watching. I'm probably going to be, because I usually aim to be done within an hour, but this has taken a bit longer, so I'm probably still going to be here sometime after. What is it? You see where it says 4. It's about 4:50 on that clock. I think I'll still be here about like sometime after 5. So you can watch me draw live at 4. That's how it goes every. But that's UK time. It's not. I feel like a lot of the people who watch my streams are not actually they actually live in the UK. So one thing I've found like a thing online that converts all the time. So I have a little screenshot of all the different regions and what time it is around the world, taken from 4 p.m. UK time, so that gives you all the information you need to know for when I'm going to be streaming. It's just, yeah, it's all there. Might find some way to put that at some point. Means that no matter where you are, you can see what time this is going to go live. Alrighty. Getting closer and closer. Okay, so let's see if I can get the colouring done in 10 more minutes. That's about as much as it's got for much time there is till 5 my time. If you have any requests, just put them in the chat. Just tell me what you'd like to see. I like a challenge. 5 minutes, come on. Let's get your skates on. Just realised I've got a whole guitar to colour in, so that's going to take a long time. Yeah, probably not going to be done in 5 minutes. And there's the shading, so I think I'll just take my time. Give people a chance. Hang on a second, I'm just going to do something. There is no pain, you are receding, but distant ship smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I had a feeling. My hands felt just like two balloons. Now I got the feeling once again. I can't explain, you would not understand. This is not how I am. I have become comfortable now. Susan takes your hand and she leads you to the river. You can hear the boats go by. You can spend the night beside her, and you know that she's half crazy, but that's why you wanna be there. And she feeds you tea and oranges that come all the way from China. And just when you need to tell her that you have no love to give her, then she gets you on her wavelength. And she makes the river red so that you'll always be her lover. to travel with her, and you want to travel blind, and you know that she won't trust you, for she's touched your perfect body with her mind. And Jesus was a sailor when he walked upon the water, and he spent a long time watching from his lonely wooden tower. And when he knew for certain only drowning men could see him, he said, all men will be sailors then, until the sea shall free them. But he himself was broken long before the sky would open. Forsaken, almost human, he sank beneath your wisdom like a stone. And you want to travel with him, and you want to travel blind, and you know that he'll trust you, for he's touched your perfect body with his mind. Now Suzanne takes your hand, and she leads you to the river. She is wearing rags and feathers from Salvation Army counter, and the sun pours down like honey on Our Lady of the Harbour, and she shows you where to look among the garbage and the flowers and all that. Blah 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 blah. Okay. You can tell I'm running out of things to do now. So it's nearly over. I've got an awful lot to do. Let's just do something about that. Everybody feeling good? You enjoyed your weekend? Maybe some of you are still enjoying it. So I'm going to take it from that colour and bring it down to a dark shade. See how that looks. Yeah, it's going to have to do. Right, this is it. the final bit. Phase what? Phase 4, I suppose. Hello, out there. Okay, so I just need to insert this one. This drawing. Okay, so thanks for watching everybody, and I am off to the pub.